Hi everyone, this is Monica Decker, Director of Marketing and Technology at McColly Real Estate. Today I wanted to show you a few tools you may not realize you have in your Google Enterprise toolbox, accessible through your McColly email account. So with that, let's begin. First thing I'd like to show you is direct your attention to the burger navigation bar in the top right of your email screen. When you click on that, you'll notice there are a series of icons here. You actually have full usage of these tools through your McColly.com Google Enterprise account. The first icon you can see is your account. This is where you would actually update any information about yourself. First name, last name, phone number, things of that sort. Second, this is of course your Gmail, actually where your email account resides. Drive is where all of the Microsoft compatible software resides. So for example, Google Docs is Google's version of Microsoft Word, Google Sheets is their version of Excel, and Google Slides is the Microsoft version or the Google version of Microsoft PowerPoint. So in case you didn't realize, you actually have these three very useful icons accessible by the individual programs here, or if you just go through Drive, you'll see all documents regardless if they're docs, sheets, or slides. In the calendar here, this is actually where you can set your appointments for yourself, or you can go ahead and create appointments as well and invite others. So for instance, if I wanted to create an appointment, let's say with Tracy, so forth, I would just type in weekly meeting, whatever it may be, the date, the time, click on the date, and you can choose whatever date you'd like, 3:30 or 4:30, add guests. When you click on add guests, you would just enter that person's email address, and by default, anyone who has a Gmail or at McColly.com account automatically pulls up here in the prompts. They also have pop-up windows to guide you through in case you've never used this feature before. See guest availability, suggest times. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Join Hangouts Meet. Now this is something that I've been using more recently, working remotely from home. Join Hangouts Meet actually is video conferencing. So if you want to see your customers, this is another way to safely talk to your contacts during this COVID concern right now. So that's an option for you here. So when you click on that, again, you can add that to the invite. They'll be emailed this meeting link here. So when your clients open their email, click that link, it'll automatically bring up the prompt to allow access, asking them to allow access for the camera and the mic so you can continue with the video conferencing that way. When you're done, just click save. And I'll ask you if you want to send an invite to your calendar guests. I'm not going to do that at this time because it's just a test. So I'm going to click dismiss. But if you wanted to, it would send an invite in real time. So I'm going to close that. Discard changes. And now I'm going to go back to the burger. This burger navigation bar is always in the top right corner here. So when I go back up here, you'll see there's a couple other options. Meet is the professional version, Google's version of Zoom's video conferencing software. So that's an option you have here as well. Google Plus, if you want to put your Google profile on Google Plus, that helps get your name boosted on the search engines organically. There's no cost to that. Everything I'm showing you here, there's no cost for. Sites, if you want to create your own website, maybe you want to do something with a chamber calendar of events or something separate for the websites, or maybe you have a hobby you want to promote, you can do that through here. Contacts, this is actually where you would go to see all the contacts that you have within your email account. Incidentally, this is where you also go. These contacts are what sync with your MoxieWorks account. So going down further, groups, if you want to make contact groups, you may do that here. Google incidentally owns YouTube. So if you wanted to, you can actually access YouTube through here as well. Maps, again, another useful tool for you. Google Ads, if you wanted to, some agents are interested in doing listing ads or branding ads for themselves. They can do this at an additional expense here that is fully reimbursable through your broker administration commission credit. You would just print the receipt and email that off to our accounting department at corporate. Second photos, any photos you've taken can be stored here through your smartphone if you have it synced with your Google email account. Google Translate. Hangouts, this is the more consumer version of video conferencing. The difference between Hangouts here and Google Meet up here is Google Hangouts maxes out at 25 participants in the video conferencing at once, whereas the Meet maxes out at 250. Now typically the Google Meet costs more money, but because you're a McColly agent, that's already built into your McColly Tech benefits, so there's no additional cost for that to you. Forms, if you want to create your own forms for some reason, maybe there's a online open house or something you like to generate there, you can easily make very basic forms through Forms. Keep is just their version of if you bookmark certain websites you want to remember and go back to, or maybe notes. It's kind of like a note area you can save within your Google. Jamboard, not going to really use that too often. Cloud search, you can search anything within your cloud. Collections, another option for you. Vault, another area where it saves anything in archive for you. And then of course everyone's familiar with Google Earth. Google Earth, it is, you'll see the cars driving around and taking the camera shots of local areas. This is not updated in real time. I will tell you it's probably a couple months old, but if you wanted to, and you probably want to run this by Nathan Weiss, our corporate attorney as well, for advertising purposes, if you want to have like an aerial view or of a particular property, maybe it's vacant land that you're trying to sell, and people don't have a general idea what area might look like, you can actually go up to the search and type in any type of address, and as you can see an aerial view, and it will plot it for you. If you double click, it will magnify it up for you. So then consumers can get a general idea where the property lines are. Again, this is not a surveyed thing, so you can't use it for surveys, but just basically for a general idea where the property lines are if you want to promote that. If you are going to use these images, you do have to give credit to Google Earth, so that would have to be noted anywhere you would use this particular photo. At that, there's a top navigation bar here, searches through product, you can set settings, look at projects, map styles, you can change that up, and so forth. Other than that, add layers, add points of interest, measurements, things of that sort. So there's a lot you could do here. At that, if I go back to the email here, just a quick how-to guide. I want to show you not everyone uses a lot of the features we have within the navigation bar, but I did want to share that with you today. While I'm at it, I thought I'd show you one more thing as well. So within your Google email, if you go under settings here, there's a few things you could do. So under themes, if you want to change the background image here, by default, I believe it's white, you could go to themes and you'll see that there's various photos you can choose from to change the background. It's just for aesthetics really. Solids, photos, anime, whatever you'd like. So if you just double click on it, it will update the preview of your background, and click save, and that saves the image in the background for you. And you can change that as often as you'd like. I'm going to go back up to the gear icon in the top right here, click on Settings. And some people have asked me before, well, how do I update my email signature? Well, under the General tab, which is the default, if you scroll down, you're going to see an area that says Email Signature. Right here. It's about halfway down. It says Signature. By default, it will say No Signature as the option. But if you click on the radial button here, you can actually type in whatever your signature is that you'd like to put on there. In my Fast Start training sessions, I always suggest to the agents that they include their agent website address, and if they want even their testimonial link. How often do you send out emails? So you can imagine how many opportunities you can to promote your website, as well as try to prospect to get some testimonials to post to your website as well. When you're done with entering that information, scroll down and you would click the Save Changes button here. That's for your signature. If I scroll up again, you're going to see that I passed one other thing. Some agents will go on vacation, or maybe they'll be out of the office for the day. There is a vacation responder under the General tab here. By default, the vacation responder is off, but if you do go on vacation, you can set it in advance. It doesn't have to be the same day or anything. You click on the vacation responder, choose whichever day by clicking on the field, and the calendar will pop up. First day that you're gone and last day if you're gone. So that way it will shut off the vacation responder automatically. Whatever message you want to put on here, out of office, week of April 13th, whatever you'd like, and then any message you'd like to include on that vacation responder. You then have two options here. You can click on only send a response to people in my contacts, or only send a response to people in my McColly real estate contacts. So that's just those people with @mccolly.com email addresses. Whichever one you choose, once you're done with your choices, scroll to the bottom again and click Save Changes. Moving forward, that would save your changes for your vacation responder. Labels is the next link you'll find here. Some agents will ask me, well, how do I make folders on the left here? Well, in your Google account, folders are called labels. So if you go in here, there are some pre-made labels or folders for you. You just have to choose Show by clicking on that button if it's not displaying already. So as you can see in the left hand here, I don't have any starred items. I don't have a starred folder in my left hand navigation bar here. So I'm going to click Show. And do you see that here? It immediately displayed a starred label or folder. That's how easy it was. So that's an option there. If you want to create any type of folder or label, you have that option as well. So right here, just create new label, name it whatever you'd like, and it will display right here in the left-hand margin as it does here. These are a few of the custom labels I have. I'm using the corporate email account box right now, but you'll see I added one for CE, one for Ninja. If I click on More, you'll see the others that I have added. Okay. Inbox is your main inbox. Accounts and import. Probably not going to use this too often. Filters and blocked addresses. You're not going to use this too often, but if you wanted to, if there's a particular email that keeps coming back that you don't want that user to bother you anymore, you can actually block certain email addresses within this area. Forwarding and pop/IMAP. This is actually a very useful link you're going to find here, the second from the end. If you want to forward your McColly email account to another personal email address, this is the area you're going to do that. So under forwarding, click Add a forwarding address. Type in whatever that email address would be. So I'll just say, I'm going to make up one here. Click Next. and it's kind of like a wizard. It's going to ask you confirm forwarding mail to monicamsn.com. Click proceed. And then what happens is in your personal email account, it's going to email you a confirmation code. It's a numeric code. Once you get that code, you're going to come back here to this window and add that forwarding code here under the confirmation. And then click verify. And once you're done, it'll ask you if you want to turn on forwarding, yes or no. And that would be the final option you have to do on there. And then at the bottom, as always, click Save Changes. Anything else down here you really don't have to worry about. At this time, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. I didn't want to overwhelm, but here's a few quick tips I just generally want to show you about your Google Enterprise. So thank you for watching.